What's up, YouTube? Tinker Forge here for a quick meta update concerning Tinker in the new 7.39 patch. I'm going to go over the few changes he got, like literally two changes, and then what I've felt playing him in my games, and how I think you should adjust your gameplay. So, pretty small changes, mostly aimed at nerfing Tinker support, I think, because that was what's being played in pro games for the most part. But it still does affect Tinker mid. So base armor decreased by 2, makes trading a lot less effective in lane. Doesn't really affect anything outside of that, I think. So heroes that you usually would have been way more comfortable trading with, you'll be a little less comfortable to trade with now. Like the Invoker matchup, especially because Invoker got changed to have a little bit more damage. That's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. The March of Machines change is the bigger one, though. Going from 44 to 40 is about a 10% decrease, or 9%, something like that. What I've noticed is that with the March change, unfortunately, it was at one of those thresholds where it would just barely kill a lot of creeps. Like a double March would always kill a large camp. A single March would always kill a creep wave, assuming you had Kaya. But now with the change, creeps will be left at 1 HP a lot more. And I think that fact makes going the only change I would make to your gameplay on Tinker is just going the other talent now. I would always go mana loss, mana cost reduction on Tinker before. Isn't the Kaya nerf a nerf? Not really. Someone in my chat's asking. Not really. I'll go over that in a sec. But the March of the Machines duration is a pretty big is the talent you want to go now. It's the talent that gives you it basically guarantees that your marches before they'll do like as much or more damage as before the nerf if you get the March of the Machines duration talent. So I would always go that now. And then by the time you get to super late game, you're level 27, you'll get the mana cost reduction anyway. So go the March of the Machines talent now is what I would say. As far as the Kaya nerf goes, I wouldn't say the Kaya nerf is a big deal for Tinker because the things that were nerfed about Kaya are things Tinker doesn't really care about. You get Kaya for the spell amp. The spell amp is still fine. Let's see if we can find Kaya real quick. So yeah, what they did, no more spell lifesteal amp. You don't really care about that on Tinker unless you have like a Dagon. And even then, you can't spell lifesteal off pure damage anymore anyway, so you'd only be lifestealing off of March. And the Dagon itself, I guess. Mana regen amp, you don't really care about that because you're in Fountain half the time anyway. It'll make early game a little, like, negligibly, like 2 or 3% slower because of the regen decrease, but it's not a big deal. Yasha and Kaya losing the spell lifesteal might be a big deal. I could see, especially support Tinkers, picking up Kaya Sanj a lot more often now, because now if you have Kaya Sanj, I believe how the health restoration change works is that it now will increase the amount of healing you get from your own March. So if you ever go Tinker heal mid, like the March heal mid, or you go Tinker support, I would look into Kaya Sanj a lot more often. I actually think that's a buff to him because before the regen amp it gave did not affect March. So yeah, that's just a little bit of an update. Go the other talent now.
I have several theories.
You should still be fine to pick Tinker mid. Still does the same thing he's always done. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little meta update, and I'll see y'all in the next one.